The first project is a wheel wreath with purple flowers. Had a lot of purple flowers in my stash for at least 2 years and decided to use them up in this video. I'm taking apart an old project. I've already taken off the bow and the greenery and the flowers. So I'm just taking off the rest of the stuff. It's just twisted on with some pipe cleaners. And so I'm just untwisting it. The sign that I'm taking off right now had a lot of hot glue on the back. And at first I thought I was going to use the back, so I did use my pliers to twist off the glue. But then I ended up wanting to use the front instead. So really didn't have to do that, but such is the process. And then this is what I decided to do, just Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint on the whole sign. So all over the letters, all over the sign. And just adding water once in a while to make the paint more slick. And so it's not too messy looking around the letters. This video is part of the Talented Creators collaboration. There's a bunch of hosts and some information, and I will tell you more about it after the first project. So I just kept going over my welcome sign, making the paint slick, using my brush slowly. It's probably 2 or 3 coats there. Then I made this lavender with a little bit of blue and a lot of pink. That's acrylic paint. I'm trying to use my acrylic paint because it's all going bad. It's like thick. Like when you open it up, it's like this thick thing around the rim, and then if you tap it, you know, you get just like a sprinkle of paint. So I think I'm going to have to invest in some new acrylic paint soon. But I like this color. I like how it came out. So I took my time and a very small paintbrush and just went over the letters. I also did a couple little lines to make it look like shadows because I did have some over painting. Then I drilled some holes in the corners. There were holes there already, but it was they were kind of small. So I drilled some bigger ones, and then using the twine, I tied the sign to both the spoke and the outside wire at the same time. So it was held onto the wire and it wasn't moving around. And I did that with both corners. Now I'm just going through the florals here. This is the funnest part of the project, but unfortunately it's not that interesting to watch. So I'm going to try and just explain briefly and get through it. I'm making a really big embellishment for the top. So you see like, I think that's eucalyptus and lavender and a couple other things. There's pink lavender as well, because the ribbon I chose has a little bit of pink in it, and so I didn't want the pink all over the place, just in the top where the bow is going to be. And I'm attaching everything with twine. There's the pink part of the swag. So I made like a pink swag, a lavender swag, a eucalyptus swag, and I'm just going to tie everything together and then tie the bow to it. And everything just gets wrapped with the twine a few times and then tied in the back with a knot. And I just want to show you briefly. I just tie the knot and trim it, and I don't even worry about trimming it too close because I'm always worried it's going to let go. And I'm just forming the greenery to the shape of the wheel here. And then when I'm done poking in my flowers and doing all the tying, I cut off 2 lengths of the ribbon and tried to make them about the same size. I glued them together with some hot glue to make the 2 loops, and then I tied the 2 loops together to make a double bow. And then I did hot glue on top of the floral part of the swag, and then I left the twine long so I could also tie it in the back. And that's going to be it for this project. I'm just going to pop in some pampas grass here right at the very end. I thought it needed just a little bit more something. The pampas grass has a little bit of drama to it. It's also thin and wispy and just has a really neat look. So I just pushed it underneath the bow and then trimmed it and hot glued it, and I will give you a better view of this during the final reveal. Jumping in with a little bit more information about the playlist is called the Talented Creators Collaboration. We have 4 hosts all together: AUREA with the DIY with AUREA, and LOLI from LOLI D's Creations. Their channel links, as well as a link to the playlist, will be in my description box below. Our co-hosts are Jenny from Lovely Moments Creating and CHERYL from Farmhouse Frugality, and their channel links will also be in my description box below. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Pizza pan with canvas image. So the pizza pan came from Dollar Tree, the canvas image came from Temu, and most of the embellishments, I believe, came from Dollar Tree. To start things off, we're going to do a nice coat of matte Mod Podge over the whole pizza pan, and I put it on the edges too. I'm not sure why. I didn't paint the edges, and I didn't even really realize it until after I was done, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and do it or what. I mean, it looks fine to me. But yeah, so we're going to get a good coat of Mod Podge on here, just a little bit more than I would use like with wood and stuff. And then I just put the pizza pan under a ceiling fan to get it nice and dry. Now I'm going to do like a dry fit of the canvas image and get an idea where I need to do a rough cut. And basically what I was trying to do is cut it the least amount possible. So like the top, the bottom, and that one side, I placed it so it was just touching the outside edge. So I wouldn't have to do like a huge amount of cutting. Excuse me. And so I just warmed up my hippo heat press there, and then when I was ready, put a parchment paper on top and just moved my hippo heat press all over it. I noticed the area where the canvas was going over the edge, that it wasn't setting down like I wanted it to. So I came in and started snipping away the parts where it goes over the edge, and then did the hippo heat press again and got a much better result. And I just love this image, and I love the sentiment. So I am so surprised that I haven't used it until now, but I am glad that I finally did. And it's a nice difference in pizza pans than what you normally see out there, like the calendar image. And don't get me wrong, I love putting calendar images on it. It's just that this is sort of a nice break from them. When I put the rope on for the border, I'm just trying to clean up the edges. That's why I don't try real hard to get them clean when I originally cut them, because I know I'm going to go over them with the rope. And I like to hold the rope down a little bit extra. I find that puts it right up against the edges, and it gives it like a clean fit, like it fits the curve nicely. It doesn't look crooked. And I have seen crooked before, and it just makes me crazy. So that's why I like to just hold it for a little bit longer than normal. Now these are some Temu florals. If you watched my Temu floral haul, you saw these. It comes as a little bouquet, which is really nice. And I've used them as bouquets before when I've gotten them in the past. But this time I decided just to cut 2 picks off the bouquet. And so I looked for 2 picks that were similar to be on either side of the swag. I also did some greenery there, the eucalyptus, and then tied everything together with some twine. I'm also using the same ribbon. It's not wired, so you kind of want to like fluff it up as you go. And so I just did the awareness shape and cinched it in the middle, and then wrapped some twine around it and tied it in the back. You can do your bow bigger or smaller, it just all depends. I was kind of going for like a medium size. I had a smaller bow ready and I didn't like it, so I undid it and made a bigger one. And again, just holding down the hot glue there. And you're going to get a great look at this during the final reveal. This last project is a wreath as a table decor. I have a lot of these smaller wreath forms and wanted to use them. I also have a wood round the same size as the wreath form. So the plan was to make sort of like, kind of like a riser, but no legs. And the wood round would be like the bottom. And then the wreath form with the flowers on it would be the decor part. I kind of put too much burnt umber on my wood round, and so I kind of had to wipe at it with a really wet baby wipe until I liked it. Then I have this old, I believe it's just glossy Mod Podge. And I thought glossy Mod Podge would be good for something that's going to be used like a riser. So I just put a nice thick coat of glossy Mod Podge on it. And that sat under the ceiling fan for quite a long time before it dried. So I did set it aside. And then again, this is the fun part of the project for me, but maybe not so much for you guys watching. Basically doing a lot of dry fit, like cutting up the picks and putting parts of them on different parts of the wreath form and seeing what they look like. This time around I did use my hot glue. I found 2 extra hot glue sticks, and I thought, okay, I've used twine for both of these projects. I'm using hot glue for this one. And once I got a few embellishments, few flowers on there, I started just gluing one flower to the other. So like I would glue the back of one of the flower petals to the back of another flower petal. And I just kept doing that until I filled it in, and it was looking full, it wasn't looking straggly, you couldn't see a lot of the wreath form. I just kept poking in flowers until I was happy. And these are pansies, and they come in a lot of purple and light purple, but they also have some white and yellow, and I've had a bunch of them again for years. And they're so pretty, and I don't know why I haven't used them, but I'm using them now. And I really like how this is coming out. Then I couldn't decide if I wanted to attach the wreath to the riser part of this project. And so I ended up just leaving it, but if you want to like zip tie it to your wood part, or if you want to try gluing it, be you. But you'll get a good look at this during the final reveal.